We don't have an intro yet. Welcome to KG Radio. It's your boy, KG himself, Kachow Kachiga. And I'm joined by, of course, Kachow Juno. What's happening?
Hello.
And I'm also joined by Kachow Vope. What's good?
What up? I'm tired. Ready to do this.
W. And today, we're here to talk to you about the Semo Smash Invitational 4, Season 4. That's not the title, but it's just as long as the actual title. And joined with us today is the winner of the Invitational, and that is, unfortunately, Link Corp. But his actual name, Mr. Hampters, not unfortunate. What is up, brother?
What's up, gamers? How are
What
you?
is good? I'm peachy myself. Thank you for asking.
That is wonderful news.
So, in the background, we got some VODs playing. Very unfortunate round one was our two podcast hosts, as we alluded to last episode.
I would say unfortunate, but it was a hot set at least.
I didn't get to watch it because I was also playing, and I lost as well as Vope.
We won't spoil.
Yeah,
I didn't
was very
lose.
unfortunate having this round one. It was a cool set. There were a lot of high stock count games back and forth.
Yeah,
this first one was pretty competitive.
Yeah,
what I remember.
Yeah, it's the most competitive set we've had. Both of our sets, the other parts of this season, were just both kind of shit stomps.
I lost a game 5 again. Anyways,
we'll get there. We'll talk about the whole invitational.
Right. Before we really hop into it, speaking of last podcast, thank you to all the people that watched it. And I didn't really expect people to. I mean, I knew some people would watch it, but I didn't think, 50 plus. I didn't think anybody would bring it up to me in person. So, that's cool. So, thanks. I appreciate it.
We love you guys.
We'll do it till we don't feel like it anymore. So, yippee. Does anybody have anything else to say, or should we just jump into it?
Let's hop right into it, honestly.
Yeah, I think we're
okay. Well, who should we start with? Do we start with the man of the hour or the lesser folk?
We can build up.
we can build up. Talk about the invitation a little bit, and then we'll talk about the run.
Okay, cool.
Mr. Vope, you want to pause the stream and pull up the bracket for us to talk about? We'll get back to some gameplay later, though. All right, so 12-man invitational. Top 4 seeds got a bye, including Mr. Hampter himself. So, what do we want to
get a bye?
He did not get a bye.
Oh, you did not. I forgot you were the 6th seed.
He was the 6th.
I forgot you're a thrower.
He's a thrower, not in invitationals. Nope. Not
true. Takes them serious.
Lock in on invitationals, yeah.
But where do we want to start? I guess we could start with the hosts here. Who wants to go first? Talk about their run a bit.
I'll go through mine first. Just it's the shortest of the three of us, and I mean, you two played each other, so I feel like that's a more interesting conversation.
Fair.
I played Julian Drool round 1. I play Julian all the time. I think I talked about it in the last podcast that while our record isn't stellar in my favor anyway, our friendlies go much better than our bracket history, at least recent history, would make you think. So I did play really well. And then I died to Leaf Shield at 4% in game 5. So
I've had that happen to me.
What's a boy to do? Not much is the answer. Which I can still bring it back against Mega Man as Pyramithra even when I'm down 2 stocks, but I have to play really well. And the fact of the matter is I just didn't play well enough and I lost. But that's okay. Then I played Short Swords and I played really bad and I lost. So there's not much to say about that. I played much better against him in the crew battle we did, which was sick, by the way, which was Kachow Gaming and Hampter versus the other team's name. or Rage
They were
Baiters.
Rage Baiters. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rage Baiters.
That was fun. I wish I played. I just wish I played better. But I feel like I'm starting to have a problem of I get put into losers bracket and I lose motivation and I play worse. So that's something I have to figure out. But
yeah, losers
I
bracket.
will.
Regardless, silver lining, it was really sick to see you make it in after that Arcadian run. So
Yeah. I'm a gamer. I'm good at the game. I'll prove it when I feel like it. That's about it.
All right. Well, I guess I'll talk about mine next. So me and Vope can maybe talk about this first one together, or maybe share our own individual thoughts. But I played Vope round 1. As you can see, game 5, I won 3-2. Game 1 was fairly close, but he ended up winning. And I tried to make some big adjustments for game 2, which worked because I did 3-stock him on Hollow. I don't think he will ever let me take him to Hollow again because that is some buns in Falco Yoshi.
Yeah.
Game 3, didn't win quite as hard, but still won, was feeling pretty good. And then Vope's adjustments game 4 were pretty nuts. Honestly, I kind of felt like completely lost. I was getting edge guarded. He was going pretty far out to edge guard my low egg recoveries. So I knew I had to make some adjustments game 5. I started by losing really bad. I was down pretty bad, but I got a nice eggly kill in the corner and ended up getting a nice little string for 40, and then afterwards getting Vope off stage for the dunk. The only time he firebirded the entire set. And
yeah, I did watch it. I did watch it back to make sure that was the one time I used upbeat the entire set, and I died to it last game.
I taught him that.
Yeah, it's if you have to go directly below ledge upwards, you are dead to Yoshi. It's just gonna be how it works most times. So I was pretty happy with that. And then I had to play Nodeino, and it was not good.
It was not good.
I got 3-0'd. So he played Wario, and that's a good matchup for Yoshi, but he played Wario so much differently than he did when I played against him online. A lot less chomps, and I was spot dodging a lot expecting to get chomps, and I didn't. They got better as the games went on, but clearly something I've learned more how to play against Wi-Fi Wario than in person. And then I guess I have to talk about my set against Millard and be sad. So I lost to Millard in game 5. So yeah, he won first game of Sonic, and he told me because he was playing Piranha Plant, if he won a game of Sonic, he would play Piranha Plant. And Millard, love you to death if you're watching this. Keep that thing on the character select screen. No, it wasn't awful, but that matchup sucks for Piranha Plant, in my opinion. I've thought it was kind of weird in the past, and then I've learned that if you egg lay a lot in that matchup, it's like undoable for Piranha
It's a
Plant.
weird one to learn. But yeah,
you have to grab a lot with Egglay and stuff like that because that's how you get around Patui. And then he played Sonic again and was winning and got cheesed. I hit him with a tech chase scenario, and I noticed he kept rolling in, so I backed up and I killed him at 52 with a like almost fully charged forward smash on last stock. And I popped off after that game a little bit because I was so excited. But
I watched that one on stream, and I'm pretty sure I commented generational forward smash.
It was pretty fire.
You were at like 152%.
I was. And then game 4, Sonic lost. And so he decided to swap to Toon Link. It was last stock, last hit. He up smashed my shield, and I waited, and then he held up smash again. So I was waiting to shield another one or try to parry it, and he kept holding it. So I was like, oh, shoot. I'm going to get my shield broken. So I rolled in to try to punish it because I was thinking if I rolled out, I would die to getting grabbed. And I rolled in and I got clipped by like the last frame of it, and then got informed later that I was misremembering if Toon Link's forward throw killed because it's back throw kills and it's Young Link's forward throw killed. So I should have rolled out, but happens. Can't win them all. Was hoping I could have had a little bit better of a run, but I did get that Vope win, which was big for me since we were 1-1 this season. But we'll move on to Vope, who after that win had a nice little win we'll get to talk about.
Yeah, so the Juno set, rough. I was annoyed with that. But then I got over the physics set. I talked to Dino a little bit beforehand about like how I should be playing it, and it just felt really good. One of the games was pretty close, but it was a lot of me making him approach on my terms, and bro was getting cheesed. End of game 2, whenever he popped off at the loss, I hit him with like the last active frame of Falco back air, and it looked so whack. And then I think game 3 after that, he tried to adjust, but he ended up just playing more aggressive and playing into my stuff a lot faster. So
that was
it was a pretty cool set.
He was the 3 seed, and I'm pretty sure it was Juno's pick to win in the last podcast.
Yeah.
And he did unfortunately go 0-2. Had a really close set against Hampter, game 5, winner of the tournament. So not a bad. It happens.
We'll get to that one, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then my short sword set was very unfortunate. Game 1 and 2, both of them. I think they were both 1 stocks, but they were both like pretty solid games. But then we get to game 3. I'm up 3 stocks to 1. He finally takes my first stock when he's at 20%. Takes my last stock when he's like at 100, and then I SD in about 5 seconds.
Yeah, SD'd at 28.
Yes, I did. And then like he did have really good adjustments for the rest of the set. I was getting very annoyed. It was a lot of me not committing to my game plan and how to deal with him and his approaches as Grandeur, because it is a very not good matchup for Falco. But I started bringing it back a little bit game 5. I just really couldn't bring it out. Good on short swords. I am very excited for this next season, though, because overall, I felt really good, even with my losses.
Yeah. And I'm sure we'll talk about final rankings and stuff, too. But I guess there's nobody left to talk about except Mr. Hampter himself, the 6th seed. So that would make you think he's kind of bad. No.
You would think.
Okay, so let's be a little real here. Every single person going into this tournament knew that Hampter was not the 6th seed. He's a thrower. I hate him.
He was. He should have been 7. I agree.
Should have been lower, yeah. 12 on a good day.
12 on a good day.
Okay, so going into this bracket, I think I told pretty much everyone in this voice chat right now, this is the best possible bracket I could have. Vope's on the other side, Water's on the other side, Drool's on the other side. I'm sitting pretty. I'm happy with this bracket. So, round 1 going into Millard. I've never dropped a set to Millard with Rob. So our game 1 was a pretty solid 2 stock. It was a 0 to death was the last stock. We were both having fun though. We were both smiling, teabagging, etc.
Strong warriors.
We'll talk about some Hampter teabagging too.
We'll talk about teabagging. But yeah, this set going into later in the day, it was fun because not only is your round 1 always your like warm up, but it wasn't one of those sets where you had a game 5 nail biter and you were shaky the next set and all that. No, it's just like I pretty confidently beat Millard, and that made me excited to play Physic. Going into Physic was... So last time I played Physic, I played Game & Watch for the first 3 games. And we started on Town and City, all 3 of the Game & Watch games. And it went... He won the first game, I won the second game. He won the first game, and then I switched to Rob like a coward, and he took it. He took it 3-1. So this is a run back for me. And going in, I had studied up a little bit in the Roy matchup. This is one of the people I did actually study a little bit for. Game 1, I 3-stocked him very convincingly, which gave me a lot of confidence. That's usually what 3-stocks do. Game 2, he 3-stocked me back, so I had to make some adjustments. Game 3, I believe, was a very close game. Yeah, I think Game 3 was pretty close, but I did take it. Game 4 was the same way, but instead it went his way. Pretty close game there. Last hit, I'm pretty sure, maybe last stock. So, or actually, maybe Game 4 was the 3-stock and Game 2 was the one he just took with a pretty close game. But regardless, going into the game 5, I have some adjusting to do because he won the one before. The first stock, he was at maybe 40 when he took it. He did jab F smash, and I was holding in, and I died at like 70 or so. So I had a lot of comebacking to do, and
Right.
I did. I did do that. I don't know if I did anything fancy. It was just a lot of jump call-outs, a lot of like back throw, laser his jumps. Because Roy has, it's a 50-50, and Physic likes to take the jump route more times than not. So it was just a lot of calling out the jumps. And then towards the end, I didn't lose another stock. It was a pretty comfortable 2-stock. He SD'd, unfortunately. You never want to see that in a set. That was a game 5er, but what can you do, right? I won, he lost. Moving on.
Yeah.
We're gonna stop
We
talking
take
about any kind of
those.
close sets from here on out.
We're gonna what?
We're gonna stop talking about any kind of close sets.
Okay. This was a very funny set. Winner semifinals. So the Sonic game, I believe I got him to his last stock. I was up 3 stocks to 1, and he quit out.
Yeah.
Nothing fancy happened in the Sonic game. It was just like we just played the game.
Typical.
There's nothing crazy.
Typical shit, yeah.
He switched to Palutena, which was like he said on the character select screen for a long time. So like obviously I'm not that scared of the Palutena because
like I haven't seen it in like probably over a year. Yeah, at least a year or two.
But I will say it did the best out of any of his his Game & Watch did good, but I think I was more scared of the Palu than any of the other characters of this set. And actually, so I'm not gonna spoil it yet, but in the Palutena game, I think he took the stock lead and got down aired. And then on the second stock, I'm only at 50 something, and then I call out his teleport because he kept doing the same teleport to center stage. That way he didn't have to get ledge trapped. And I called it out with an up smash, and he quit out. But it was not like he had that crazy of a comeback to make. It's like one nair and then a ledge trap, and then he was back in. So I really think that way before the set started, he was already tilted that he had to play me because it's like he hates Rob. We all know that.
Right. Yeah.
But it's just like, yeah, that Pebble game, I don't know why he quit out because that was the closest one, and he didn't do it later on in the tournament, so I don't know why. But anyways, going into the Game & Watch set, he was destroying me. Like I'm pretty sure I was on my second stock at 50, 60, 70 something before I even got him to his last stock or to his second stock. And so I have rage. In the second stock, I'm at 120 something. I do back throw, dash attack, and I read his air dodge and side B, and he dies at 29. And then he doesn't quit out there, which is that's pretty impressive because the other 2 games he quit out over a lot less than that. But I guess he figured it was close enough that there was no reason to quit out. So he stayed in the game. It was pretty close. I got advantage stated, but it eventually it ended like any other set would. It was just like he upbeat high and then he died to reverse in there. He upbeat to keep his advantage state up and he died to reverse in there. So that was a silly little set. And then going into Nodeino, me and Nodeino have gone back and forth. Not necessarily back and forth, but it's like he'll win 4, I'll win 4, he'll win 4. It's like we have a pretty strict pattern. It's like, but it's not like 1 and then 1. It's like we both win simultaneously several sets, and then we figure something out about the other. Right. But this set, so game 1, the junior. I don't think anything fancy happened this game. It was just mostly set play. It's just it's basically what you'd expect from 2 homies playing the game. It was just, I did a little bit of advantage state, he did a little advantage state, and I just came out on top. I was maybe at 50% at the end of that game, so it was close enough. All it took was a couple of reads, and he would have been back in it and took that game. But but since I was only at 50%, maybe he was not as confident, So he switches to Steve, and this has had a lot of success in the past. His Steve beat me at the Kachow Cup he won this season, and his Steve also beat me out of region this season. So we are 2-2 this season. And Steve Rob, I believe, 2-2. And this game was not close. I shit on him this game. It was just he wasn't playing as good as he could with Steve. He hasn't been practicing the character, stuff like that. And I've been practicing the matchup more than he's been practicing the character. Right. So obviously it's not going to go his way if he's not going to, maintain the character. And I don't think he wants to maintain this character. I was expecting Wario way like 100 times out of 100 over Steve, but he did go through with Steve, which is whatever. And then going into the third game, I'm expecting Wario because he's already switched twice. I'm expecting he's going to try to throw me off with a Wario or even a Meta Knight. I'm expecting something crazy, but he goes back to Junior. And this Junior game goes fairly similarly. In the Junior game, I'm pretty sure that it went the same way pretty much. Nothing crazy happened, just a lot of set play. Like, it's just what we've done 1,000 times. Nothing crazy went on in this game, except the last stock. I threw the gyro, and then I sat in shield and waiting for an air dodge, and he did do it. So I hit him with gyro and air side B after I read the air dodge, which is something that I've done to him quite a bit. It works a lot when he's panicking, so I expected it to work, and it did. And then I know he was upset about that set, but I think that we're gonna go back and forth like we did at the.
I was outside hanging with Garrett and Vopa and some other people, and he came outside after that set, and he was like, "Garrett, how do I beat Hampter?" So he was really trying to search for an answer, but unfortunately, he wouldn't get that opportunity to because him and Kyle had a really nuts losers finals. Right. Kyle winning his first set against Nodeino, and he's lost the last 8.
I mean, before we get into grand finals, obviously Echoes and losers, and he played really hot all throughout losers bracket. I got give it up. I don't like watching Sonic. I'll say it. I don't. And I think that's brave of me to say. I think that's a brave thing to say in the big 2025.
I kind of enjoyed it this tournament. He was playing really well.
Yeah. I did not get bored watching his losers run at the very least. But
yeah, he started getting
besides Julian, but that's Julian's fault.
Yeah, but that's just how that one has to go.
That's just how the matchup is, yeah. Short Swords just doesn't have a great. He might be 1 in something with Echo right now. I'm not sure.
I don't know if he's ever even won a set against Kyle.
He won 1 at a. Yeah, he won. It was like 2 invitationals ago. He won, and then he lost in losers later on in that same invitational. I don't know if he's won since then, but I think that was the first one.
So I was going to say before we get into this grand finals, with this losers finals with Kyle Echo, who congrats to getting 2nd and 3rd overall in Semo this season. Had a great season, had a really nice run in the middle. But specifically, something I want to mention with Echo is just watching him in this tournament, especially in the short sword set, So obviously, the past couple seasons, it's been Nodeino and it's been Hampter winning the last 2 invitationals, and you see a lot of talent in these young kids, and obviously Garrett's still there as well. But something that I think Kyle does better than a lot of people in Semo, that maybe he doesn't have like the technical skill, but he is a ridiculously intelligent player. Like, watching him play against short swords, it always kind of feels like the games that he wins, he's like just outthinking the other person and like just has a control of the game, and it looks like he's forcing them to play his game. He was getting so many reads on Justin after rewatching that set, and it kind of felt like the same way when it started to swing towards his favor in that Nodeino set. And it just kind of felt like in his set against Hampter, which we'll obviously talk about in a sec, the second one, that he never really got that because of the... I'll let Hampter explain it more, but the way Hampter was playing, it kind of felt like he was struggling to get that like mental advantage and like get those reads because Hampter was playing in a way that was very like turtley almost in a way where he was just kind of letting Kyle come to him.
Well,
But
it's like, how are you supposed to win a game of chess when your opponent's playing sorry?
yeah,
You know,
he was just it was a very fun set to watch. Hampter, take it away on this grand set.
Okay. So I'd honestly like for Vope to pull up grand finals rather than I'd like to watch grand finals as I talk about it.
if we're willing to do that.
Yeah, we can find it.
Okay. Because dude, this is the funniest set I've ever played.
This was the funniest set I've ever watched in my life.
It's so funny. So for the record, I'd like to say I think Kyle didn't quit out anymore like any time in the set because he was on such a high after beating Nodeino.
He wanted to win. Look at him. He's closing his eyes, meditating. Like he really wants to win this tournament. Which
his shirt actually had sleeves, but he ripped them off.
He ripped them off.
So I was commentating this set, and this first game, I kept mentioning it during this game. Kyle is just undoubtedly outplaying Hampter in this game, especially.
Oh yeah.
And then he does that, and he kills
that's just knowing counterplay to homing attack. Yeah. He should never ever do that. That's a mistake on his part, and he'd admit that.
An SG like that, you might have expected him to quit out, but no, he's still playing super well. Yeah, no, still hasn't been touched.
And like, I do believe this is the game where the back throw side B happens, and that is funny. It's just like this whole game, he's advantage stating me. He's playing how it should be played. Also, spot dodge, another way to counterplay homing attack. I don't think that's a good move. I think that move's kind of terrible.
It has its usage for that, but then he SDs again.
Okay, yeah, this is the SD, and he doesn't quit out. He's like he is very locked in. I'm stalling under stage here. You know, I'm just trying to hold on to my stock. Yeah, I'm basically trying to kill time down there. He can't do anything. There's the taunt. This taunt is the beginning. This fucking taunt triggers everything. This taunt makes it. So he's taunting me. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I don't think it was right here, but later in the set, Kyle was trying so many times to kill you with tech checks. At one point, he literally yelled out, "Can you please just miss attack?" And it just, dude.
Yeah, I'm just going for stupid shit. It's just like I'm just trying to kill him at 0, piss him off, all that stuff. And I think I'm doing a really damn good job. I don't know if it's this game or the next one. I think it might have been earlier in this game, but he's talking. Like he's very loudly talking. Then I just walk away.
Yeah.
This game is where I decide that I'm going to make this not a fun set for Echo. Just mostly because of the taunting. I have nothing against Echo. It's just like I wanted to make it bad for him. Kind of.
Note to self, don't ever taunt Hampter, or else he will. See, Kyle likes to talk about playing like Shoot At from Melee with the Game & Watch. You were low key playing like Shoot At. Like not the ledge camping thing, but the turtling.
Yeah, it's just hard for him to get the kill, and I'm smiling this whole set. I'm laughing. I'm just trying to have fun with it. And Echo's taking it very seriously, which is like, you know, it's grand finals, so I don't blame him. But I think that just taking a lighthearted approach was the best plan of action in this grand finals. And
yeah.
So going into the game 2, I'm gonna do more of that stuff I was doing at the end of game 1. A lot more trolling, a lot more silly shit that I usually wouldn't go for. Just mostly to see if it'll work, and it does. It really does work. This game, yeah, here it is. It's coming up in the next couple seconds. Back throw, side B. This set is over. This set is over at this point. I laugh. This set, it's wraps. Dude. And I do not care if he quits out or not. I'm going to make this game fucking terrible for him. That's my goal. I'm just mostly gonna go for early kills, a lot of footstool stuff, a lot of teabagging, a lot of taunting, etc. But I'm also
he's still playing fairly well.
Yeah, no,
Like,
he is playing good. He's advantage stating me, and it's just like this is a hard matchup. I think Rob wins this, and because I just don't think Sonic can ever kill me, and I kill him at 0 every single stock. You know, because his recovery doesn't have a hitbox, it's so hard for him to just live in this matchup, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And also spin dash. His character can do a lot to deal with spin dash, and that's one thing. Don't get me wrong. Like, don't even think for a second that I'm not actually trying in this set. But I'm also just trying to make it hard for him. Like, It's not like I'm doing stupid shit, you know. I'm actually focused, and I'm doing things I would do in a regular set versus Echo. I'm doing things like here. I didn't do here, but I'll like sit on a gyro and shield and stuff like that because that's really good in this matchup. It beats spin dash. Yeah, it's just super good. You can also get like he'll hit the gyro and it'll clank with spin dash, and you can do stuff that's like really broken. And I died at 13 and I left it off. It's not that big of a deal.
yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen you really lose your mental in a set. It's honestly impressive.
So that's mostly what I've been practicing for like 2 seasons at this point, and I think I'm doing a pretty decent job at it. Sometimes I'll get upset after like a Wi-Fi set, but I think on the offline sets I don't usually get too tilted.
Yeah, because I'm not
And
a
then-
rage guy,
yeah.
but I can get kind of down on myself, and I feel like a lot of Semo can sometimes have issues with that, where they either get like frustrated or something like that. Like that's just kind of a normal thing.
That's
But-
totally fair. Yeah, and it's not like I don't blame Echo for being upset. I'm being mean. I'm being mean to him. It's not. There's no hard feelings between either of us, and I think that Echo would agree. You know, we're cool in person and stuff like that.
I talked to him about he listened to the interview after the set that I had with you, and he didn't have any issues with it. He said he thought it was funny.
Yeah, no, I'm just
He takes the game seriously, which is good on him.
Yeah,
He's
no,
a very good
that's
player.
totally fair, and I think that, you know, I've definitely in the past taken this game seriously, and I'm currently still taking this game seriously in preparation for a breach. It's not a bad thing.
breach.
Oh, this is so funny. So can you skip back a little bit? So the start of it is I stand on a gyro with shield, and here it is. He fares my shield, which is unsafe, and then I hit down tilt, and then I footstool him. He just dies, and he goes. At this point he's like, why would you go for that? That is so stupid, and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, you can't hear him, but you can see him. Yeah, that was upsetting him, and it's like he had a good lead. That would upset me too. If I lost a game like that, in a way like that, I would be upset too. I would be annoyed as well.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, like he just had a great losers run, and then to lose like this is fucking terrible. And
no,
on the mental, I have to imagine.
Guys, look, it's me, Hampter.
I'm
Look, it's
also
you,
back
Hampter.
there. Hell yeah.
Hampter an expression.
Hampter an expression. Hampter is playing and commentating. What a talented young man.
Crazy.
What a talented individual.
Crazy. Multifaceted.
This one has the funniest moment of the entire set, in my opinion.
Oh. So I was going for a footstool there, but he's starting to catch on. He fared me instead.
Yeah, gyro just seems very good for dealing with spin dash.
No, it is, and so is laser as well. If you just wait for full charge laser like this, I think this matchup is so bad for Sonic. But
might have to pick him up. No,
you might have to. I think I think this is Sonic's hardest matchup. I really like it. And I'm teabagging there, just teabagging in neutral. Yeah.
Bro wanted him dead.
I was trying to kill him. I was trying to kill him at every single time. Catch that. He accidentally clicks back air while mashing.
Yeah, so in Hampter, when you did that there, I know you know this, but on commentary, I said I thought he was about to SD there to troll, and that will become very relevant later. Because you heard me.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Yeah, that was good. And I don't think Echo's that far behind. All these games could have gone his way, and it could have been a whole different story. It could be Echo getting interviewed right now. Like, game 2 was so close. Triple spot dodge.
3 spot dodge, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so you guys might think spot dodging is troll, but in this matchup, it's super good because of homing attack. Like, I spot dodge a lot in this matchup, regardless. After every spin dash, I spot dodge because he can't do anything about that. Like,
Yeah.
because he'll be turned around. There's nothing he can do about it besides homing attack after it. So the only thing he can really do is just charge homing attack, which Sonics usually don't do.
Really
So I
good
honestly,
there. Jeez.
yeah, I'm just doing weird options at this point, and I think it's throwing him off quite a bit. I'm also getting a little antsy for the kill in this set. I'm just going for up smashes and whatnot. That was supposed to be a backer. I heard him say that. He was upset that he accidentally up aired. Because that would have been the stock.
Yeah, so T-Bags and then...
Not yet.
Oh, okay. Does it have a little second later? Yeah, it does.
It's right. It's after I Z drop it.
Yeah.
But
gotta get your damage first. Yeah, you just...
Because I'm still thinking about it. I just scratched
in a close game 3 of Grand Finals. Immediately goes down too is the funny thing, but
I mean that's just confidence, baby.
Yeah, and I'm still sitting on the gyro shielding and stuff. I'm still doing Sonic counterplay. Yeah. That was good. I think that was a really good.
I liked that a lot when I was watching it. Yeah.
I will say good on Kyle for throwing out a fist bump at the end. They're not getting too angry about it.
No, he fist bumped. I actually did not think he was gonna fist bump like that, but I'm glad he did. I really think Echo's a cool guy. I'm glad I got to play with him.
Yeah.
I don't think the feelings were mutual, but I'm glad to have a set with Echo. I'm really glad Echo's in our region, honestly.
What did you think of the event overall? Not just like your performance, but like even just playing in it and vibes and whatnot.
So the vibes were really good. I was having a lot of fun talking to everybody. I was super tired actually, and I think I was not very like energetic the whole day.
Yeah.
But it didn't affect my play whatsoever. You know?
Me, it was like we all play each other all the time, but I think the crew battle really set the tempo for like because like I was talking to people, like I talked to all you guys like at any event that I'm at, but like we were just chilling. Like it could have been just we were in one of somebody's basement just playing the game. If that was the vibe to me, pretty much.
Yeah, the crew battle was mad vibes.
It was
the crew battle. I think we both had MVPs. The crew battle, and I've been saying for like actual weeks that I really wanted to do another crew battle because this is the second one we've done in Semo, and both times we've done crew battles, everyone has loved it. Yeah. So, but I also don't think this should be like an every single tournament kind of thing by any means.
No, not at all.
I think
I agree.
Honestly, if it's just an every invitational thing, that would be super amazing, and we could do like a more. Go ahead.
We had a discussion about surprise. Everybody knows this now at this point, but we're gonna start theming our seasons going forward. Season 5 is Sonic themed, but we have a very fun crew battle idea planned for a future season. That isn't Sonic themed, but they're definitely here to stay.
Yeah, for sure. It was a lot of fun. Nodeino and Echo drafted teams. Nodeino's a lot better at drafting, I think. That's how I feel.
So I think the format was actually threw Echo off because he was expecting it to be like 1-1-1, I think, or I don't know why.
We snake draft it to make it a little bit more fair, and
it didn't work out. Well, honestly, it was actually really close. Like
I think him not picking Vope was a problem. Vope had a really good had 4 stocks for us.
Yeah, there was quite a few like heavy hitters that he probably should have.
I got to the event like right when it started, and I went in fully expecting to be picked last, but I wasn't. So that was cool. Thanks.
Thank you. So the other thing I was going to say about the Invitational, because I want to shout this out, is obviously a little bit of a smaller venue, but thank you to SCG Cards, for letting us host there and host our events there.
Yeah.
The owner is really awesome. He's been really, really cool with all of us. And notably at Heartland Arena this Saturday, the tournament I will be running with some people. He has donated 3 different booster bundles of the most recent Pokemon card sets, all $75 value. So he's been really, really cool with helping us run stuff.
Yeah.
Super, super awesome guy. So wanted to shout out that place for letting us run all our events and all that.
Massive shout outs to MB as well. Like we just wouldn't have the production that we have without him.
Double streamed up.
I guess before we move on, just to like talk about, end of season rankings and whatnot. I want to ask, because you said you actually prepared for Physic. Like Physic was one of the people you prepared for. Was there anybody else that you prepared for at all?
In this bracket specifically?
Yeah, like you don't have to give like I practiced this to counter this and stuff like that. But I'm just curious, like
so it doesn't matter if you're an O2er or you're gonna win the bracket. I have studied for every single person in this voice chat and every single person in Semo. I don't like losing.
For real?
Yeah, for real.
Yo, I matter. I'm
You matter.
somebody. I'm somebody.
I even studied for Jenna, even though I fat fuck farmed them.
Whoa! All of our last 3 sets have been game 5, by the way.
Yeah, I will say one thing that I did think was funny was whenever Dino lost your set and he came out to talk to us, he came out and asked about, like, he specifically asked me and Garrett because we're the only 2 people who have good set records against you.
Yeah.
And we tried explaining it to him, and it ended up just being we both have a reflector.
Yeah.
Which makes a neutral and disadvantage so much easier.
Yeah, it does.
All right.
But that's
thank you, Hampter.
Yeah,
Sick
thank you
event.
guys for having me.
Super sick. Obviously, 2-time back-to-back invitational winner, which is really sick. Unfortunately, not number 1 out of these 2 seasons, but I don't know what's really stopping you from next season, especially if you keep going out of region and getting these wins. Because it was, I considered it when I made my ballot. It was very close for me with that invitational win. But congrats on number 2, and not gonna be surprised when we see you number 1 next season, or maybe switch up, but we'll see. Obviously, it'll depend.
I think it's really like poetic that me and Dino are 1 and 2 this season, and I really want it to be the opposite next season, like me 1, him 2, because I think we're the most obvious like rivalry in Semo.
For sure.
I know there's a lot of them, but like I think that we kind of like stand out a little bit.
Yeah, I think you guys are a big rivalry. I think
Garrett.
I was gonna say Garrett and Julian, but it's been a little bit one-sided. Obviously.
Yeah, that's hardly a rivalry.
That's tough. And then I think if we keep getting matched against each other, me and Vope will be a little bit of one. Close sets.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of cool rivalries.
Well, I might be playing Marth, so.
If I have one, it's probably Julian, even though he's been beating me a lot. If it's not Julian, it could be. If Millard went to more, it would probably be him.
I think me and you are a pretty solid rivalry.
Yeah.
Also one that's been a little bit one-sided though, since you've won our last couple.
Yeah, me and you as well. I'm the underdog, so I have a lot more people that are potential rivals, but
I've wanted to host.
Vope is another one that could be like. I think we only played twice.
Yeah,
but both sets were like. And Vope is like one of my very good friends, so like.
Well, yeah, you are like.
It's not like I hate him.
The person besides like back in like 2021, whenever I started playing online with Garrett, you have like consistently been the person I've played Smash with for the longest time, back since Iggy's Pop Shop locals in the summer of 2019.
Pop Smash. Yeah.
It has
I've wanted
been
to host
6 years.
A little rivalry night type of event like a rivalry night side event at one of these tournaments. Do grudge matches, little salty sweet.
And I mean,
We
I
love.
guess up until this season, well, he only played me once, but like I was physics bracket demon, so that could be an answer as well. As weird
Yeah,
as that sentence sounds, it's true.
Low-key
Until
look
the-
for
I also think Echo Nodeino is
yeah.
especially like more towards the beginning, like whenever they were going back and forth, is a good rivalry.
I think
yeah.
if I played him more, me and Varixa always have crazy close sets.
Oh yeah,
Um,
Ricksta, funnily enough, just has good. He has like funny rivalries, even though he's mid.
Whoa!
Anyways, I'm gonna hop
Rick's is
off, guys, and
probably
go
in the
watch
car
Ricksta
with
win
him right
redemption
now.
bracket. I'm gonna go watch Ricksta win redemption bracket.
Hell yeah. Yeah, GG's good having you.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Have a good night.
Of course. You too.
But
Okay.
however, we're not done. We have another
Oh.
guest star. We're gonna move from talking about the Invitational to talking about PR with Mr. Number One on PR, Mr. Number One 2 seasons in a row on PR, and an actual member of Kachow Gaming, Mr. Nodeino, who we'll see if he unmutes and talks to us. He did. Hello,
Hello.
Dino.
Sorry. I'm like right in the middle of a Wi-Fi bracket right now, but I'm still talking. I'm still talking. Hold on.
Okay.
Never stops grinding. Never stops grinding. So I just wanted to say before we get too into it, we talked about Number One on PR. We've been talking about PR placements, but in case you guys haven't seen it, Vope, do you want to pull up the graphic for us?
Short swords.
Oh, it's no big deal.
Vope.
They ain't ready for the fifth up tilt.
Physic.
No! Dude!
Drool.
Let's go!
Water.
Chicken fries.
Echo.
I hate when people underestimate my fastness.
Mr. Hampter.
Get farmed, losers.
Nodeino.
I literally got ran over and I still got number one, bruh.
Did you put
Bro.
the like graphic without the things at any point?
Short swords.
I did not. I can post it.
Oh.
That's the point. I
That would
have
be
I have
cool.
it saved here. I'll put it real quick into power rankings upload, because the way I had to do this is I had to go save all of these individually. So I had one with all randoms, and then one with just short swords, one with short swords and Vope, all that. So that's the finished one.
Okay. I mean, just left to right, obviously. Nodeino, he did it. Look at him. That's him.
Yeah.
2 seasons in a row.
The
Goat.
Burger King. The
The Burger King, the Kachow Gaming Kid.
That's true.
Our goat.
So at the beginning of the season, and like especially during the middle of the season, like at the beginning, it was like a pretty strong start. I won Kachow Cup 18 with like mostly Meta Knight, which is pretty cool.
I forgot.
Or no, wait,
about
no.
that.
I think that might have been before. But I won Kachow Cup. It was either with Meta Knight or Steve. That was
I
cool.
think you won with Steve. Over Hampter.
I think the one I won with Meta Knight was before the last Invitational. So, but so that was pretty cool, and I don't exactly remember the timeline. Let me pull up the bracket real quick. All right. So yeah, Kachow Cup. I won. I beat Hampter. There is like a few tournaments in there where it was like I think it was one of the Kachow Cups. I think it might have been the last one at the multi center or whatever it's called. Yeah, my bracket's just not loading. Okay. I'll look on Smash's app instead. But there was a few of them where they were definitely trolly for sure.
Right. I mean,
But
more in the middle, yeah.
yeah, so okay. So we got Hole 18, which I won. I won with mostly Junior. I played Steven Grands to beat Hampter, and that was it. I won 2 game 5s versus Echo and Garrett, and then I beat Junior round 1. And Kachow Cup 19 was like definitely the trolley one for sure, because the way I thought of it was this. I was like, I saw Lucas. I'm pretty sure this is the tournament Lucas lost to Echo with Donkey Kong. And he was in losers already, and I got upset by Fope. So this was my I played Hypothetic, and I played Little Mac. And then I played Verixa, and I won with Falco and Charizard. So fun fact, Verixa does not like Falco.
Really?
I know.
This has never come up before.
I know he doesn't like Falco, right? So the counter pick started not as specifically for him. I was just actually just playing Falco because I thought he was fun. And there's some matchups that I didn't like playing as Junior that I preferred more as Falco. One of them was Banjo. And I was like, I'm gonna try it. This is how I found out that he hated the character. I beat him at like this school thing, and he literally walked up to my mom and said, "Your son is a cheeser," like to my own mother. And he did not fist bump me either. So I was going into this tournament. I was gonna pick Falco. I actually didn't play Falco Banjo. He played Sonic game 1. That wasn't close. He played Rosalina game 2. That wasn't close. And then I was like, I'm gonna switch to Charizard because Charizard is like the most fun character in the game, like low key. I love Charizard. My Charizard's raw. And I beat his Banjo Charizard. I think it was like I don't think I would win that now. I just think it was like the mental damage. Like he was down 2-0 to my Falco.
Yeah.
Because he already hates playing against me, and then me playing Falco just like kind of amplified that a little bit.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah, and then I lost to Hampter. We were going like random ass characters. I played Steve, but I mean he just beat my Steve with Wolf somehow, so and that happened. That did happen. I don't even think his Wolf is very good because there's a tournament later on where he loses to Wolf to one of my other random ass characters that I've played. All right, so we got Underground here. I lost. It was just a normal tournament. I lost to NPC Lucario. I did not let that shit happen again, by the way. I love NPC Lucario. He's a very nice guy. Not let that shit happen again. And then I lost to Madeira. All my sets with him are fun. There's always. It's never like decisive. Like it's always like some games in there that are like it's always like flip flop. You know what I mean? But back and forth. That's the term. It's back and forth. Usually. He clipped my ass though, like pretty bad. He like Falcon Punch read me. That was pretty crazy. And yeah, so
Real gamer hours.
Yeah, I got 7th there. NPC Lucario at the time wasn't the best loss, but he's kind of like proved everyone wrong. Oh, I also fought Roger there. And
Roger a lot.
also at the next tournament, I also fought Roger. I lost to Hampter Twig Snap. It's stuff that happens. But like around this point, Kachow got 20s. Whenever I was like, I might be washed, because even just out of like Semo at the zoo, I got hoed because I had to play Sosi, which was fine, and a Ploopy for 65th.
Jeez Louise.
Well, that's Chalk's fault,
I was
isn't
gonna
it?
say, would that Ploopy happen to be because of Chalk?
Yes, I was the first person to play Ploopy in losers because Chalk upset him. Which, by the way, Ploopy ended up losing to Madeira. He is actually shit at the game. Jesus Christ. And then I also didn't do very good at Fusion or Phase the day, or not the day, I think it was the same week. I lost to Merrick. I'm not very happy about that loss. I took Morley to game 3 and I beat Verizon. That was pretty cool, I guess. I won the redemption bracket with mostly Meta Knight though, so that was cool. And then this other Kachow Cup, I lost to Physic and Vope again. And this was like, okay, I think Lucas has this in the bag. I think I might lose out to Echo as well. But then, large gap in tournaments. This is like February 2021. And then I went to Underground.
Yeah.
And I beat Morley. That was nice. But I traded that Morley win for losing to Garrett for the first time in nearly 2 years, but that doesn't even matter. Because Garrett's not a bad loss at all. I never feel bad about losing to Garrett.
That dude sucks.
Okay, pal.
Whoa, buddy. Whoa.
I get my redemption. And then like after that, I think I just like had a mental reset. Really, not even like locally, but just like in general. Because the Kachow Cup after that, I won. I beat Hampter's Wolf with me Sword Fighter. And yeah, I only dropped games to. I only dropped the junior games to Echo once and Short Swords. I dropped a game of Meta Knight to Expression, but I mean, Semo, like, he had to play with the one guy a lot, so he probably knows the matchup. 3-0 to Ethereal, that felt nice. That felt great, especially because last time I played Ethereal, I lost it in Grands after getting the reset. And then after that, it was pretty smooth sailing. I lost to Garrett's Falcon, and then I won the Kachow Cup after that, going a lot of Wario. Beat Vope with Wario after losing to him twice with my other 2 characters. That felt good. It was just normal. It was just normal stuff after that.
Hey, I would like to say you played 3 different characters in our 2 sets I won on you, because you went
Okay, nobody cares, dude.
You went Steve against me, and then
I wasn't even
switched
thinking about.
Bowser.
I wasn't even thinking about
And then
the Steve. I was talking about Steve and Junior. Not Meta Knight.
Yeah, and then the one after that, you switched to Meta Knight, and then went over to Bowser Jr. after that first game. And then the next time you play me, you start with Wario.
Yeah. So I have this funny thing where I'll like play like a secondary or a pocket into someone after they beat my main, and I'll win. Because it's happened with 3 different people in Semo. It happened with Zephyr because he beat my junior at a random gaming grounds, and then he's lost to my Greninja and also my Meta Knight. And then now Vope and also Juno, because Juno did beat me at the only regional we've played at.
Rolla out 2.
Yeah, and then right after that he cracked his skull in half.
I got a concussion at Rollout 2.
Yeah.
Most fraudulent win of my life, by the way.
Nah. It was a fraudulent. You just had the scrolls. I was playing good that day, obviously.
I had the scroll. Yeah, I got 4. Dude, if I beat someone at Semo like early in a tournament, I promise you, it is destiny that they make a crate. Like somebody who's like clearly way better than me. Whenever I've beaten Garrett 4 times in bracket, all 4 times he has gotten second place of the tournament. So if
Gamer.
you really want to make a crazy run at a Semo event, just beat me or let me beat you.
I've never
Bro.
considered this option.
It's not even as crazy, but I mean, I beat Vope and he goes in 3-0's the 3 seed. So
Okay.
Yeah.
To be fair, I low key gave him the mental reset. I talked to him about the matchup.
Bro did help.
Let me take a little bit of credit.
I wish you talked to me, bro. I needed to beat that frog.
I thought you had it.
So did I. I think that was the problem.
Never
Dude,
underestimate your ninja.
I just did goo goo gaga ass pyramid and I lost. Like I didn't even like. There's nothing. Like my advice to myself is think more. Like I just did stuff. I don't know. It was bad. I played much better in the crew battle, but what are you gonna do? Ugh, it's annoying, but frog.
Yeah, no, I get that. I think okay. I think I understand where you're coming from, where like you just play like really, really, really like a toddler. You know what I mean?
did
Because
in that.
I do
Yeah.
that, dude. Anytime I play someone like usually the person that makes me feel like I'm just the 2 people that make me feel like I'm just awful are Hampter and Garrett for sure.
Yeah,
Bro. Like
it's
and
understandable.
one of them isn't even like Garrett obviously has the capability of making me feel like I'm garbage, but it's not even necessarily him that's doing it. It's just like every time I play against him, it's like, dude, why am I approaching Kazi right now?
Yeah.
Like I maintained a record against him so long by not approaching him. I beat Sosi by not approaching him. Why am I starting to approach this character? I don't get it.
You got bored, bro.
That is true. It is really boring. That's why I do low key kind of struggle with camping, but like it's something that I'm like slowly trying to get better at doing. That's why I could
Yeah.
never play Sonic. There, y'all, real ones remember the I'm dropping Junior for Sonic phase before Echo picked up Sonic.
I remember it. It lasted like a week and a half.
Yeah, that was like the shortest secondary phase I think I've ever had.
I think real ones remember when Nodeino and Hampter played fucking secondaries and an invitational grand finals, and then I have not seen that Meta Knight put its head out since.
It wasn't secondaries. He went Rob.
Was he just playing Rob? I thought he played.
Yeah.
At the time, Nodeino just didn't have Hampter figured out, so it was like a matchup thing. I'm pretty sure.
That day I went game 5 with him with Junior and game 5 with him on Meta Knight.
Yeah.
My Meta Knight actually has a pretty good track record, like games wise, against Lucas, but I've never been able to close out a set.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. I feel like I'll. You go ahead. You go ahead.
I was gonna say all I know is it is the best Meta Knight I've ever seen him in Semo.
And Missouri.
In Missouri.
But yeah, so that's our top 8 of the season. If we want to click on that again, I know we've been yapping for a while, but
my bad, chat.
No, you're fine. You're number 1. We wanted to hear the journey. Vope's dead in an alley. So we won't click on the top 8 actually, but it's fine. There it is. He's back. But there's Physic. Look at him. It's pretty cool. And
Don't forget about Julian. That's what I remember that guy looking like.
You know, the other thing about like just like playing so bad against short swords is I let my friend down. If I just beat short swords, Juno would be number 8 on this this graphic.
There's 3 separate people on this graphic who, if they'd beaten short swords, I would have a better argument for being above him. But congrats to you, short
Yeah.
swords, if you're watching this. You had a
Yeah,
good season.
congrats to you. Congrats to all.
Yeah,
8 people.
congrats to Short Swords. He's one of my favorite players to watch in Semo. Low-key, I love Greninja. He's so cool.
Oh,
I like
fucking hate
watching it
character.
when it's not me. I like watching it, but
Yeah.
I hope somebody takes Greninja out back into a dark alley. And
well, he's
does
a dark type.
Dude,
so
my
it's fine.
Greninja. You know my Greninja's
It's
hot.
retired, anyways.
No, I mean I whipped it out versus Juno not that long ago. It was,
I was playing Marth online.
and okay.
What's your point, bro?
Yeah.
But
win's a
you
win.
know, as the number 1, what do you think of this top 8 graphic and the season overall? Not just from your perspective necessarily, but like just, you know, the full picture. What do you think, pal?
Okay.
Wow. Yawning.
Sorry. No,
Okay.
I woke up early today. Give me a break, please. So the graphic was cool. Really cool. I think it's better than all the other ones so far.
Yeah, it helps when I'm not making it on CapCut.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
Yeah,
Not
I made
the
all the
CapCut.
Dude, I made all the past graphics on CapCut and
Wait, what'd you-
Pixlr. I am so talented.
What'd you use for this one?
Premiere.
Okay. I
Shout out
was
to me.
Thank you to my sponsor for letting me edit something in a program that's not made for TikTok videos.
That is true. I remember when CapCut was more than just that, and then became the TikTok thing. Anyway,
You are old enough for that.
dude, you don't know me, son. I thought the season was really cool. There are definitely improvements to be made. So the one issue that I had with the season was I think we need to be more like meticulous whenever we're like planning events. I think that's the big thing for me, and like getting like a date out and like announcing it, because there's a lot of people like so the kids quote of the scene, like I'm not even trying to like be away, but it's kind of hard because a lot of people now have like the jobs in the scene, you know.
No.
I wouldn't know anything about it.
Yeah, me neither.
Well, the only person that wouldn't know anything about it on our
Jobs?
PR is Garrett. I think everyone else has a job.
I don't know if
You're just gonna call him out.
well, Physic and Short Swords were in school. They probably have a job now since college.
Okay, to be fair, Garrett is getting
True.
a job over the summer.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, your point.
Yeah, so I think if we like plan things out more, like and announce it, that would be pretty nice.
Yeah.
Because there's some tournaments that it's kind of hard for me to like get off work for. I've been pretty lucky. But like the Invitational, even though that was announced like in advance, like I don't know. I think it should be, at least for that, it should be like a date like in the ground. Like we should have it like way in advance. Because I think what even happened? What got it delayed?
The invitation was planned 6 weeks in advance, but we didn't know it coincided with Valley of Flowers.
Oh yeah, I forgot it. Valley of Showers.
Valley of Showers, Valley of Fusion. But
Valley
that
of
delayed
getting
it, and that's
freaking
when we
ran over.
decided. That's when we decided to split the Arcadian Invitational into 2 separate events.
Yeah.
I think we should just do that from now on. I think that's a silver lining of like, I think obviously the Arcadian was smaller than like we would have liked, but generally I think both events ran much better as separate things.
And the incentive for the Arcadian to get into the Invitational was awesome.
Yeah, it certainly motivated me, obviously, but
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. But like that's basically the main thing is that it was kind of messy whenever it came to like planning and stuff. But like other than that, I feel like this season was just like an upgrade in almost every aspect compared to the last. Because like
Kachow Cup got a new venue through this season.
And Gaming Grounds kind of got a new venue. Gaming Grounds died to produce Raffle Rumble, but
yeah.
Cape event.
Yeah, so only thing that happened this season that made me sad was Underground dying, rest in peace. But like the talent pool in the region just keeps getting better. I mean, there are so many players that aren't like that didn't make the attendance requirement for PR that are definitely very good, like Twitch Snapping Ethereal.
For sure.
Probably more. It's like production just in general. Like shout outs to my boy MB.
True.
Because he did a lot of that, and it like he puts in a lot of effort and he spends a lot of his own money for that kind of stuff, and it's like it's really nice.
Yeah.
Because like whenever I first joined the scene, we were running brackets off challenge with no streams, no recordings. Like we've come a long way since whenever like I first joined. So it's really
I miss challenge. Start GG fucking sucks, dude.
Yeah,
I can't put Vopine in fucking Start GG.
I mean, yeah, you can't.
I'm killing Karen. I can't do it.
You can't mess with your friends anymore. But I mean, challenge has its charm for sure. But I think, unfortunately, I think having the tournaments documented, just like having it documented on everything is like really nice. And I think it makes up for the effort.
Why Start GG is like the guy. I just wish like using it during a tournament was, not as annoying, but it is what it is.
Yeah, we've definitely gotten a lot better production-wise. Not even just like obviously we've shouted him out a couple times. Thank you, MB, so much for all you do for us. It is so very appreciated. But I feel like when me and Kachow kind of took over as the head TOs of the region, kind of inherited it from Jesse and PK and some others. That was a big thing that we both wanted to do, which was very cool. Was just getting everything on Start GG, trying to get VODs more often, and I feel like it's been very successful the past couple of seasons. Obviously, Kachow with running Kachow Cup has been the staple tournament. Never bad.
I've ran 24 of these fucking things, and I haven't won one of them.
Yeah, what's your best placement in a Kachow Cup? Actually, I don't know.
My best placement is third, I think. It was not. I don't even think it was last season. It was one where I think it was like 12 people, maybe 10, and the top 3 were Kyle, Katz, and me.
Yeah, I got second at a Raffle Rumble, but that was a pretty small Raffle Rumble too. But obviously, a lot of the effort with I'll shout myself out here for making these graphics since we started counting our seasons, but just organizing the seasons, and then obviously, just actually running these events and all that, getting venues constantly, getting prizes for Raffle Rumble. It's been a journey. We've done a really good job as a scene of coming together and propping up this small sub-region.
Oh yeah, there's a lot to still work on. There probably will always be something to work on, but like there's also a lot to be proud of. I mean, production-wise, just the players themselves. I take a lot of pride in the vibes of the scene. with me being more important than I used to be. I feel like I'm not saying I'm the tone setter of this scene, but I think me having more of a presence helps people not like, hold grudges and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah, we're really. I'd say overall we're really close as a scene. I feel like we have all these big group dinners after tournaments, and we're all pretty close friends and all that. I would say that there's not like a. I feel like maybe it's just because it's a smaller scene, but I feel like in bigger scenes there's always players who like don't really like each other, and like we've had that in the past. Won't name names, obviously, but like it's happened. But I feel like the way the scene is right now, it's been really healthy. We're all really good friends.
Yeah.
We don't hold grudges or anything like that. We're a pretty awesome scene. So all the Semo haters that I feel like we've slowly been curbing away because we've been showing the
Besides
talent level.
basic.
Thank you. Let's go. Go to Breach.
Go to Breach.
We will. Semo will be at Breach. We have what, like 9 people coming.
Yeah, we have
If I
9
can
people
go, I
coming
will
and
go,
staying in an
but it's-
Airbnb.
Yeah, we're.
Dude, I'm
because-
so excited for Breach, bro.
Same.
Bro, our Airbnb's got a hot tub. I am so Vope. We
It
hot
has a
tubbing
hot
together.
tub?
Yes, it does.
Dude, we're fucking in the hot tub.
All right, I'm gonna see if I can go.
Whoa!
Anyways, I'm not upset that I kind of talked over Vope there.
Yeah.
I think a big thing that we improved on was like people, and it's still something we're not perfect, but like I feel like a lot of people in the scene feel a lot more heard than like the past regime. People didn't necessarily feel like if something happened, they didn't feel like they could, say anything about it and things like that. So I take pride in that as well. But that's cool. But guys, fellas, brothers, we have to stop talking eventually. So let's just briefly, Nodeino, you can stay too and talk about this, obviously. Next season, obviously starting this Saturday, being the what day is it? The 31st. Or whatever the fuck. Yeah, the 31st. That's when Heartland is, correct?
Heartland Arena this Saturday.
Yeah, that's the opener. I'm looking forward to it.
It's looking like attendance is going to be good because there's already, I think, 15 people signed up, and it's a convention, so there's going to be people. We might hit the cap. The cap is 30.
There's going to be some stragglers for sure. So what do we just around the horn, I guess? Like, are there any like players that might not be on this graphic that you're looking out for? Or expectations for yourself, for whatever, just anything that you can think of that, going into this next season, what do you think we should expect?
I am confident Zephyr will make PR next season.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I feel like a similar thing with Roger
No.
or Brixa, because like he clearly has shown that he could win sets versus very good players, but he just doesn't do that in region ever. Ever.
Yeah. There's a lot of PR caliber players that aren't on here.
I was gonna say squad. I love those 2 players so much. I think Landon is definitely gonna be in contention. He's definitely gonna be in the Invitational. Can I get on this before those guys, please? Please? No. I've been really close these past couple seasons, but this season will be a little weird. I don't plan on playing a ton of Yoshi in region. I'm gonna be playing a good amount of Marth because I feel like trying something new and trying to expand the horizons. I'll probably be playing Yoshi at Breach in the St. Louis Arcadian, but otherwise, unless I bail, we'll see how quickly I bail. But I would love to be up here. I was 9 this season. I was 10 last season. So if the law of averages says anything, I will be 8 this season.
Yeah, I was 12 last season. Now I'm 10. But
yeah.
I'll be that guy. I'm gonna bet on myself, actually. Like, it's I haven't kept it a secret, but for those that don't know, I've been probably the busiest I've ever been throughout this season with wedding planning, among other things. And, running events isn't exactly not a time consumer either. But, I'm going to be married soon. So then
True.
I won't be as busy. I'm not as busy right now. But I think that, like, I was busier more toward, like, the beginning and middle. But I feel like I have some, like, I still played really well with everything I've been dealing with and have some momentum that I think I could definitely keep up going into next season. I think I can cook. I just have to do it. So
Yeah. I'll make my takes before I head out here. So it would not be, I guess this is only the second one, but it would not be a KG radio if I didn't do some Garrett glazing. I'll be real. I think Garrett will be top 3 next season, but I'll take it a step further. Garrett ends next season number 1. That would be my hot take. I don't know if that's that hot because Garrett's a very good player, but I believe in the Snake. He wants to play it all season, Snake and ZSS. I think both of those characters make a lot of sense for him. I think he's going to get used to playing both of them more, and especially the ZSS, which just fits his playstyle very well, and the Snake, who is going to help him with those problem matchups. I think we'll see him in the top 3, which he's been at this 4 spot the last 2 seasons. I had him at 3 last season. I thought he deserved it. We had some controversy in the PRC, which is the point of it. Everybody's different takes of it, but I think we'll see him in the top 3, and I'll hedge my bets here, make my big prediction, him at number 1. And again, not just trying to glaze my friends, but I think we'll see Vope in top 5.
That was gonna be my prediction because I am 2 wins off from beating every single person on this graphic.
You got to figure out the echo thing.
I'm also I have the
literally
best records.
Everybody below him.
Yeah, I also have the best records against the top 2 in our PR.
Yeah. Except for Hampter on Nodeino, but yeah.
Otherwise... Well, yeah. Well, like besides like those 2, everyone else underneath of those 2 on our PR, I have like very obviously the best records on them because I'm 2-2 with Dino this season and I'm 2-1 on Hampter this season. And yeah. I am starting to my big problem, honestly, is the fact that I've played Echo 1 time in the last year, and the fact that Garrett beats the ever living shit out of me because of how much Smash we've played offline.
Yeah, but I could definitely see it. Obviously, that kind of means you got to pass some people up here. But you and Asa were pretty close. That kind of feels like you got to pass up Julian. I think you can do it. Julian, very good player, very, very consistently in this 5-6 spot. He was here last season. He was here right here the season before. It's weird because the PR has stayed fairly similar, except for last season because we had Daku Meiji, Daku Akira in here along with Ethereal who qualified, but
we also had Twig Snap.
Twig was
like 6
season before. He was the storybook season. Last season was the magic cards. Millard was 8. I know that.
Yeah.
So but you see some familiar faces, but despite that, there has been some shuffling. There is some real room for jumps here, and I think the next 8 on this PR are also very intriguing because you have Millard, you have me, you have Kachow, Varixa, even Vivi had a great season for how much he was able to play. I think Shadow Expression up and coming. He's been getting a lot better. He's been really fun to watch. Obviously, Landon, we talked about. Semo is again not a huge player pool, but it's everybody slowly congealing into this middle here where like Landon can go out and beat Crazy Crash, and Varixa goes out and beats Tim Prater and Bus and all these good players. You've seen Nodeino make crazy runs at Rala, Hampter with the most absurd out of regions wins list I've seen in Semo's history. Obviously, Kyle doesn't get to go out of region a lot because he's an adult, works and all that, but obviously super consistent. Like it from 1 to 16, honestly, any of these players I feel like could go to an out of region tournament and I could hear that they made a crazy win and I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense because Semo's here to stay, man. I'm excited to see who can come to the St. Louis Arcadian and show out. Obviously, I didn't do very well at the last one besides doubles, but we had some good runs. Obviously, Garrett, Nodeino, and Kyle all made it to 9th place. Though notably, Dino maybe could have done better if his bracket wasn't a little rough to say the least.
Bison to 7, bro.
So I think that is so
2 PR players, by the way, in the Arcadian.
The
2
1 and
PR
2
players in
seed.
the Arcadian.
Dino, do you have any like hot takes going in to the season?
I mean, they're not really hot takes. I feel like
Sam.
a lot of the stuff that I'm gonna say is stuff that everyone else has already said. Like, obviously, it's like some of these players, like Zepha, Verixa, or whoever and whatever, has to focus on one thing, and then they're like set. But I think that's
Not-
true. But I don't
Not
think
me
there's like,
though.
okay, you interrupted me.
Yo,
Oh, my
shout out
fault.
Captain Smash, by the way. We're talking about names. Shout out Captain Smash. I want to see him at more events.
I agree.
He's a nice guy. Yeah.
Very master of many characters. Bro's got the
Right.
Meat Gunner. Bro's got the Ice Climbers. He beat Short Sword with Ice Climbers and has beaten Drool with Meat Gunner. And who has he beaten? He's got the Villager too.
Bowser Jr.
He's beaten
And
me
the-
with Junior before.
He beat
I
me
haven't
with Junior,
I
that's how
haven't
we
played
played.
him in so long. It feels like,
Because I beat his gunner and he busted out.
but anyway,
the Campy
Nodeino,
Junior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, Nodeino, go on, buddy. Go on.
I mean, I feel like I say it a lot, but I think Kachow, obviously.
I didn't know what noise I was gonna make. I just made one.
Yeah, it sounded like you're like getting choked out, dude.
Something's happening to me.
I had to gasp for some air. Oh wait, we forgot a character, Piranha Plant.
True.
He does
Yeah.
true.
Notably beat a very angry Volrath with that character.
Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, he's very. Oh, also Inkling, I guess. I'm looking at this now. Yeah. Anyway, I'll let someone else take it because I'm yapping.
I guess. I mean, I'm the only one that hasn't. I've only talked about expectations for myself, but hot takes. I mean, if Nodeino and Hampter want to stay number 1 and 2, they're probably going to. That's just how I feel. If they care, it's just gonna be like that, I think. But I wouldn't be surprised if like somebody like Echo or Garrett, broke into that. Like they're capable of doing that, obviously.
I mean, Kyle had a run during this last season where he got first, second, first. So he's very capable.
I mean, I tell this to you all the time, but I have a lot of faith in Vope as well. As long as if Vope stays motivated, he will just rise up. That's just
If
how.
Vope doesn't eventually go back to Diddy Kong, he'll always rise up.
Yeah. I actually believe in the Diddy Kong, so that's not my conversation to have. But I do believe in the Falco more. So
I was gonna bring back the Diddy Kong, specifically this next season, very largely in part to the GOAT Tweak retiring.
yeah.
However, I have felt so much more confident in my game plan and my gameplay with Diddy Kong that like with Falco over Diddy Kong, I have, at least right now, I have no reason to play him.
No, that's completely fair.
Absolutely no shade to Diddy Kong, by the way. That wasn't the intention of that. More so, I feel like Diddy gets you in a weird mental and headspace sometimes.
I will say, I think it would do good against short swords. That's how.
Well, yeah, I mean,
but regardless,
like my current,
I guess my real hot take here, I feel like my guy, my intern Julian Drool himself, he's gotten a lot of shit this season just to end up at number 5 anyway.
Yeah,
like people be like, "Oh, Julian's so bad." And maybe he is, but I think Julian is going to go up as well. I think if Julian stays motivated, it's dangerous. That's how I feel about Julian and Vope. If they stay motivated, I don't think there's much that's going to really get in their way. Same with Garrett. But yeah, me and Juno, I think both of us can make top 8. I think Zepha can make top 8. The problem here is
Someone's
that
gotta come off.
we can't all do that. So we're just gonna have to ban some people and go from there. And I think we should ban.
Dude, I don't know. You know the issue with the season and getting bans done. It doesn't always happen, but
It doesn't always happen, but that's a joke anyways. I think a lot of people can make top 8. I think a lot of people have momentum, and I think if we keep that momentum, it's going to be an even more sick season. So I'm excited myself.
yeah. I think that's about it.
Yeah, that's all I got. Vope, you got anything?
Not really, no.
Bro Chino, you want to say bye?
Goodbye.
That's awesome.
Thank you for joining us, Nodeino. It was nice to get your insight on this season.
Thank you,
Once again,
Nodeino.
Great
Thank
job
you,
on number
Hampter.
1. 2 seasons in a row.
And
Running
thank
it.
you. Thank you.
No, thank
Viewers
you.
like you. Thank you, PBS kids. Cyber Chase, we're moving. Thank you for tuning in to KG
Rest
Radio.
in peace, Gilbert Gottfried.
God damn, it's been like years, but rest in peace, Gilbert
Rest in peace,
Godfrey.
PBS as well.
Dude,
I was getting ready to say that too.
Cyber Chase is moving off TV. Regardless,
That just killed that a little bit.
Thank you for tuning into Kachow, or not Kachow, KG Radio on Kachow Gaming.
There's a certain
101.2
player
The
who's
View.
happy about
101.2
that,
The
by
View.
way.
This was a bit of a special episode, but this will be, for the most part, a monthly podcast. So we'll see you probably at the end of June. So thank you and goodbye.
Breach. Go to Breach.
Breach.